Hey everyone, welcome back. So it's Saturday. Great news. My mother-in-law came all the way from Taiwan to help out. So she'll be here for the next 6 months, spending some time with us, spending some time with my sister-in-law in New York. But overall, it's a great help to have her be around, and I can really have a third person to look after my son, which for both of us, it's a welcoming help. Worked out this morning. So I found out that before, remember last video I did, I was freaking out because I thought I would normally do 20 sets of 6 burpees, 6 swings, and 6 goblet squats. I realized that my max was like 10 to 11 set. So, yeah, because before I was freaking out about how I was exhausted by the time the seventh set came around, and I thought I was normally doing 20, but I wasn't that badass even before. I was doing 10 sets. But I'm doing good now. I felt that my kettlebell swing form is a lot better. I noticed how my shoulder is somewhat stational. It's not swinging with the kettlebell, at least from the joint position. And I also noticed to not look straight as I was swinging. So use my head to follow where my body at. So I just have a single line through my spine all the way to the tip of my head. It was great. All the habits I'm doing is good. I did take a rest day when it comes to getting up early today. It feels so good to not having to worry about my kid waking up and screaming because my mother-in-law is taking care of it. So both my wife and I, we slept until 7:30, which was a godsend. Like we haven't done that in a long time, just sleeping without worrying about our kid. Today, when I was working out, I kind of thought back of who my role models are to really get me inspired to sticking to my habits and working out and getting up early. I mean, my top favorite, I mentioned a little bit before, is Kobe Bryant, definitely. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. There are some phases of Conor McGregor and Kanye West that really inspired me. When Kanye West was starting out to try to be famous through rapping rather than through music production, that phase of Kanye West is really inspirational. If you have a chance to watch his Netflix documentary, I would definitely recommend that because it was great to see Kanye at a time when he was um he was not well known in the world. He was a famous producer, but not well known in the general public. And it was really inspirational to see him at that position and of him trying to make it through life. I do notice that I don't really follow any of the motivational gurus. I used to. So folks like David Goggin or Jocko Willink, Jocko Willink is kind of the textbook male father figure for a lot of males to really use him as a way to get motivation. I used to too. When I first started, wanted to stick to habits. I think like several years ago, I was a big Joe Rogan fan. I used to follow him, and Jocko was in there, and Jocko really inspired me to be that kind of alpha male type of figure. I still remember listening to his audiobook, right? He was talking about, so a little background about Jocko. He was like this Navy SEAL that went to several tours in Iraq, uh, leading some of the most dangerous battles in Afghanistan, and came back and became this motivational speaker, right? So in the book, he was talking about every day I work out, I would think about all my teammates who then came back from Afghanistan before me, seeing how they don't get to come home. It gave me the motivation to take it to the next level. All right. So for me, I was like, okay, whatever that motivation cue, it doesn't apply to me because I've never went to war. I don't have that type of like adversity in my life, so I cannot really draw on that. So several chapters in, he was like, people in America ask me, now that I'm back in the States, I am not at war, what other motivation do I use to keep me going? And I was like, oh man, here we go. This is something useful that I can listen to, something that I can apply to. And he said, when I'm at home and then have to find motivation even though I'm not at war, what I think about is all the people who died before and the image of them dying. And that gives me the motivation to work out. so, so for me, it's like, oh, whatever you're saying, man, it's not useful for me. Similar to other gurus like David Goggin, how he was doing ultra marathon till his piss turns brown. And I'm like, look, man, I'm just trying to get up early. I'm just trying to work out a little bit. I'm not here to run till my pee goes brown and I have to be in the hospital. That is not my life. And that gets me to think that a lot of people, when they first want to get motivation, they look for these characters who's who's been through hell to get to where they're at. And they never really tell you how they even started in the beginning. Because I think a lot of these individuals, they've been doing this for decades and they're trying to think back, well, David Goggins, Jocko, how did you actually start? And none of them can answer those questions for you. And maybe this YouTube channel is a way to show you that I am starting from way in the beginning, where I could barely get up at 7. It took me 3-4 months to get me to consistently get up at 7, and now I'm getting the hang of getting up by 6:30. And several months from now, I will get up at my ideal goal is to get up at 4:30, and I will show you the path of how to get there. Same thing with exercising. I am not here to day one squatting 400, 500 pounds. So why look for those people for motivation when they're already at the top of the level? You want to look for someone who's starting out and sharing the same adversity that you are doing. So that's just my thought. It's the weekend. I'm having fun. I'm just making sure I keep up with my habit streaks. Nothing too special. I do have to work this weekend because I have a huge workshop that I'm leading this upcoming week. So I'm looking forward to that. It's like one of the milestones I'm doing for my career, and I'm gonna knock it out of the park. Yep. Thank you all for listening. If you like it, please hit the like button and subscribe. I love to see everyone watching getting some value out of this. So, yeah, look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow. See you. Bye bye.